Laos is the only landlocked country in Southeast Asia, but the Mekong creates thousands of river islands in the south. It was once called Lan Xang, the land of a million elephants. Today, only an estimated 500 to 1,000 elephants remain. This is Laos, a country where life often moves quietly. But quiet does not mean silent, isolated, or invisible to the world. It describes a simple rhythm shaped by family meals, temple mornings, riverside work, and time shared with neighbors. But peaceful does not mean perfect. This journey will look beyond the calm landscapes to reveal how Lao people truly live, what they struggle with, and why this gentle way of life continues along the Mekong. To understand the slower rhythm of life in Laos, it helps to understand the beliefs that shape it. About 2/3 of the population identify as Buddhist. Theravada Buddhism is the country's official religion, and its influence reaches far beyond temple walls, encouraging compassion, self-control, generosity, and contentment. Nowhere is this influence more visible than in Luang Prabang. Before the town fully wakes, monks and young novices walk barefoot through the dim streets in long, silent lines. Residents wait beside the road with baskets of sticky rice, placing small portions into each passing bowl. No money changes hands, few words are spoken. This centuries-old ritual, known as takbat, reflects the close relationship between local communities and the monasteries around them. For many Lao men and boys, spending time in a monastery can provide religious learning, discipline, and education. Monks remain highly respected, while temples continue to serve as places of worship, learning, celebration, and community life. Respect is also expressed through everyday behavior. Visitors entering sacred sites are expected to cover their shoulders and knees, remove their shoes where required, and avoid loud or intimate behavior. Across the country, layered temple roofs rise above wooden houses in city streets. Golden stupas catch the tropical light, while carved doors, painted murals, and delicate patterns preserve generations of devotion. The most important national monument is Pha That Luang in Vientiane. Rising 45 meters above the capital, its golden form has become a symbol of both Buddhism and Lao identity. Only its pinnacle is covered in real gold, while most of the structure is painted. The peaceful atmosphere of Laos is also shaped by something surprisingly simple: space. Laos is home to roughly 7,700,000 people, a population close to that of the state of Washington in the United States. However, its land stretches almost 1.3 times larger. That leaves room for wide roads, quiet neighborhoods, and landscapes where rice fields, forests, and temples often outnumber buildings. This slower rhythm continues in traditional markets, which remain central to daily life. Families move between rows of colorful stalls as fresh herbs perfume the air. River fish and other fresh aquatic products are displayed, while tropical fruit rises in bright piles beside baskets of sticky rice, bamboo goods, and handmade textiles. Shopping is also a social exchange. Customers speak directly with vendors, compare prices, and often pause to share local news. The market serves as both a commercial center and a meeting place where familiar relationships are renewed each morning. Digital payments are becoming more common in larger towns, but cash remains important in markets, villages, and small family businesses. In many parts of Laos, a wallet filled with kip is still more useful than a payment app. The rhythm of work also feels different from that of many larger cities. Income matters, especially as living costs rise, but family meals, community obligations, and time at home continue to hold an important place in daily life. A popular joke gives the country's official abbreviation a second meaning. Lao PDR stands for the Lao People's Democratic Republic, but travelers and residents sometimes reinterpret it as "please don't rush." The phrase is not an official national philosophy, but it captures something visitors often notice. Schedules can be flexible, service may move slowly, and impatience rarely makes anything happen faster. As the sun drops behind the Mekong, much of the country begins to wind down. Shops lower their shutters, workers return home, and small restaurants and beer gardens fill with conversation. Friends gather around shared dishes, raise glasses of beer lao, and sing familiar songs. The day does not end in silence. It ends with family, food, and laughter around the table. A bottle of beer lao often sits at the center of the table, shared among friends and family. Brewed with rice, malted barley, and hops, its light flavor pairs naturally with the bold tastes of Lao cooking. Fresh herbs shape almost every meal. Mint, coriander, dill, lemongrass, lime leaves, and fiery chilies create food that feels bright, fragrant, and deeply connected to the surrounding land. While most countries in Southeast Asia rely mainly on jasmine rice, Laos proudly stands apart. At the center of the Lao table is sticky rice. Laos consumes more sticky rice per person than any other country. Families gently shape it by hand, then dip it into sauces or eat it with fish, meat, and vegetables. Another defining ingredient is padak, a thick fermented fish sauce with a rich, earthy flavor. Its powerful aroma gives Lao cuisine a character that is noticeably different from the sweeter cooking found in neighboring Thailand. Two traditional dishes reveal this identity immediately. Tom Mak Hung combines shredded green papaya with chilies, lime, vegetables, and padak. Larb mixes finely chopped meat with toasted rice powder, fresh herbs, and lime juice. But few dishes express life beside the Mekong as clearly as mok pa. Fresh river fish is covered with dill, lemongrass, lime leaves, spring onions, and local herbs. The mixture is folded inside broad banana leaves, tied into a compact parcel, and slowly steamed. When the wrapping is open, fragrant steam rises into the air. The scent of warm banana leaves mingles with citrus, herbs, and freshly cooked fish. Inside, the flesh is soft, moist, and delicate enough to separate at the lightest touch. Eaten with a warm handful of sticky rice, mok pa brings together the river, the garden, and the rice field in a single bite. It is not elaborate food. It is fresh, comforting, and unmistakably Lao. In Laos, food, family, faith, and community are deeply connected. These bonds become especially visible during Pi Mai Lao, the country's most important annual celebration. Also known as Bun Pi Mai, the Lao New Year takes place over 3 or 4 days in mid-April, marking the Buddhist New Year and the beginning of a hopeful new season. The celebration begins quietly inside Buddhist temples. Families pour flower-scented water over Buddha statues as a symbol of purification and gratitude. They pray for health, peace, and happiness before carrying this blessing into the streets. Soon, quiet neighborhoods fill with laughter. Families, neighbors, and strangers splash water on one another to wash away past misfortune, welcome the coming rains, and begin the year with good luck. Water festivals are also celebrated in neighboring Thailand and Myanmar. What truly sets Laos apart, however, is the Bachi ceremony. Monks or respected elders tie white cotton strings around people's wrists while offering blessings for health and happiness. The strings are often worn for several days, so the good wishes remain close. Preparations begin well in advance. Homes are cleaned, traditional dishes are prepared, and markets grow crowded with families buying food for visiting relatives and friends. For travelers, Bun Pi may appear to be an enormous water fight. For Lao people, it carries a deeper meaning. It is a celebration of forgiveness, gratitude, family, and the belief that every new year deserves a fresh beginning. There is a phrase heard almost everywhere in Laos, Bor Pen Nhang. It means, it's okay, no problem, or don't worry. More than an expression, it reflects a quiet acceptance that not everything must be rushed, controlled, or argued over. This spirit has helped shape the country's close-knit communities, especially in rural areas where neighbors often function like extended family. When a house is built, people arrive to help without expecting payment. During the rice harvest, families work side by side, knowing the favor will be returned when they need support. The roots of that tradition reach deep into the country's agricultural past. Planting and harvesting require many hands within a limited time, while floods, droughts, and unpredictable weather remind farmers that no household can manage every difficulty alone. Respect for older generations forms another pillar of this strong sense of community. Nursing homes remain uncommon, as adult children often live near their parents and care for them in old age. In some communities, matrilocal traditions also continue. After marriage, a husband may move into his wife's family home, while men commonly shop, cook, and share household duties. This sense of community can also be seen in the design of traditional wooden stilt houses. Built from timber and bamboo, traditional stilt houses rise above the ground for protection from floods and better airflow. Below, the shaded space stores tools, shelters, animals, and becomes a shared area where relatives and neighbors work, rest, and talk. The calm surface, however, should never be confused with comfort. But community support does not remove financial pressure. Wages remain low while food, fuel, and other necessities have become expensive. So many families combine farming and market trading with small businesses or income earned abroad. A household may grow rice, sell vegetables at a morning market, repair motorbikes, or depend on money sent by a relative working in Thailand. For many families, stability comes not from one secure job, but from several small sources of income. Beyond these homes, the landscape opens into forested mountains, limestone cliffs, rice fields, and riverside villages. Even urban life often feels calmer, with fewer high-rise buildings and less traffic noise than in many larger Asian cities. Violent crime is relatively uncommon, but some of Laos's greatest dangers lie beneath its peaceful landscape. The country was bombed more heavily per person than any other nation in history. Decades later, unexploded ordnance still prevents communities from safely farming or building on parts of the land. Laos is the only country in Southeast Asia without a coastline. From above, the Mekong appears like a broad brown ribbon running along much of the country's western edge. Its waters feed rice fields, supply fish, carry boats, and sustain generations of families living beside its banks. Follow the river, and you will find much of what matters most to Laos. Villages rise beside fertile farmland. Ancient settlements preserve the country's history, and Vientiane, the national capital, stands directly on the river facing Thailand. For Laos, the Mekong is more than a feature on the map. It provides food, supports riverside communities, and has shaped the country's history for generations. It supplies fish, irrigates rice fields, connects riverside communities, and generates electricity for export. For a landlocked country, the river provides food, transport, and opportunity. The river has also become central to the country's economic ambitions. Hydroelectric dams turn its water and that of its tributaries into electricity, much of which is exported to neighboring countries. Laos hopes this strategy will make it a major source of power for Southeast Asia, although dams have also raised concerns about fisheries, displaced communities, and the health of the river itself. Although the country has no sea, the Mekong widens and divides into a vast network of channels filled with thousands of islands and rocky islets. This water world is called Si Phan Dan, meaning the 4,000 islands. Some islands are little more than patches of grass and trees. Others are large enough to hold villages, rice fields, temples, and narrow roads. Here, the Mekong crashes over Kona Papong, the largest waterfall in Southeast Asia. Brown water explodes into white foam as countless channels squeeze between rocks and plunge through powerful rapids. These waters once held an even greater surprise. Irrawaddy dolphins could be seen rising from the river, an extraordinary sight in a country without a coastline. But the last known dolphin in the transboundary pool near Laos died in 2022. The species survives farther downstream in Cambodia, but it is now considered locally extinct in Laos. Laos was once called Lan Xang, the land of 1,000,000 elephants. Today, only an estimated 500 to 1,000 remain, threatened by habitat loss and low birth rates. Elephants symbolize strength, wisdom, and prosperity, and their images appear in traditional textiles. Many women wear the sin, a silk tube skirt woven with geometric, animal, and mythical patterns. Men may wear loose sarong trousers during ceremonies, while both sexes use the Pha Biang shoulder cloth. The sin remains visible at workplaces, schools, and temples, expressing cultural pride and a lasting commitment to Lao identity. That determination to preserve Lao identity matters more as the country opens to a faster and more competitive world. The challenge is not simply to develop, but to create better opportunities without losing the traditions that make the country distinct. Many young Lao people leave for education or better paid work abroad. Those who remain often measure wealth differently, through family meals, supportive neighbors, and the comfort of belonging. There is still time to talk beside an open doorway, eat without watching the clock, or sit quietly as the Mekong darkens at sunset. Living at a gentler pace is not laziness or resistance to progress. It reflects a society where family, community, and peace of mind still matter. In Laos, this different relationship with time extends far beyond daily life. It is also carved into the landscape. Across the hills of Xieng Quang stand more than 2,100 ancient stone vessels, some nearly 3 meters tall. They lean across the grass or lie partly buried, as though scattered by giants. This is the Plain of Jars. Dating mainly from the Iron Age, the jars were connected to ancient funerary practices. However, little is known about the civilization that carved, transported, and arranged them. They left no surviving written explanation. Like the quiet rhythm of modern Laos, the jars have endured without demanding the world's attention. Laos has not been forgotten by time, nor is it disconnected from the modern world. Here, silence is not emptiness. It is a slower rhythm shaped by the Mekong, close communities, and simple daily routines. If this peaceful side of Laos stayed with you, tell us what touched you most, and subscribe for our next journey.